coming. My name is Maria Walls, and today we will be talking about Smeal career prep and everything that entails. And just to kind of give you some information about why we are doing this presentation, why this information is beneficial for you before we start out. I assume that those of you who are students that are attending today are planning to transition to the Smeal College of Business at the University Park campus, probably during the fall semester of your junior year. So for a lot of people, the transition from their Commonwealth campus to the University Park campus can be a little bit overwhelming. It's a time where you're learning about a lot of new things, you're making new friends, getting adjusted to the new environment. And because it's a time of so much transition, I wanted to at least have one thing that you didn't have to worry about so much, that being your career prep. In addition, the fall semester of a student's junior year in Smeal is one of the most important because the fall semester of junior year is when most students are typically looking for a summer internship for the summer before their senior year. And that summer internship oftentimes leads to a full-time job offer with that company, or is a great resume builder that they can leverage into a full-time job offer with another company. So because all of the big career fairs happen in the fall of a student's junior year, and because that's a heavy recruiting timeline, junior year fall is very, very busy. So again, because it's a time when you're going to be transitioning to University Park and it can be a little bit overwhelming, I just want to make sure that you have one thing that you can start off strong with and that you have all of the information that you need to succeed. So today we are going to be talking about the ins and outs of career prep and things that you can be doing as a Hazleton student to set yourself up for success in Smeal. All right, starting out, I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit further and give you some information on how you can contact me. So like I said, my name is Maria Walls. I am the Change of Campus Program Coordinator and Career Coach for the Smeal Business Career Center, an office that we'll be talking about a little bit later. But my role essentially is to help College of Business students at the Commonwealth campuses access all of the career resources through Smeal and have a successful transition with everything related to the career search process. So while I do work at University Park, I am a resource for you, so please feel free to utilize me as much as you need to and for anything that you really need to. Questions, you're free to email me. I'm happy to respond to any quick questions over email and chat with you. If you would like to ever meet with me through an appointment, you can do that virtually over Zoom while you are still at the Hazelton campus. And then when you decide to transition to Smeal, I'm also available to meet in person. My office is located in 114 Business Building at University Park. In addition to that, we also have some drop-in hours today from 1 to 2 directly after this presentation. So I'll be in the drop-in link for about an hour. If you have any questions as a result of the presentation, please feel free to pop in. If you have any questions unrelated to the presentation, I'm happy to answer them as well. So moving forward, like I said, email or appointments, I'm happy to meet with you at any point in time, whether that's when you are still a student at Hazleton or when you're a student at University Park. All right, so our agenda more specifically, today we're going to be talking about two main things, I would say. The first is key career resources at the Hazleton campus and at the University Park campus that you need to be aware of. And the second is how to maximize your first and second year. So I'm going to be giving you 5 steps that I think are some of the most important things that you should be doing in order to prepare yourself for the junior year internship process and just make sure that you're as prepared as possible to do all of the career steps that entails. If you have any questions as I go through the presentation, please feel free to put them in the chat. That would be the easiest thing for all of us, is to put questions in the chat. I'll make sure that I'm monitoring it. And then at the end of the presentation, if you would like to unmute yourself to ask any questions, you're free to do that. And of course, we have our drop-in hour afterwards. All right, so getting started with our key career resources. So first and foremost, you have the Career Services Office at your Hazleton campus. Katie is the career service coordinator that you will be utilizing to access this office. I definitely recommend that at some point during your time at Penn State Hazleton that you reach out to her and access all that this office has to offer you. Her contact information is here below, the phone number of the office that you can reach her at, and her email. It's also located in the 203 Butler building. Again, if you have never accessed this office, I definitely recommend doing so. You can get great information about anything and everything related to the career search process. So help with interviewing, help with resumes, maybe creating a cover letter, how to search for positions, whether that be official internships or maybe part-time jobs in the local community that you might be applying for. If you have any questions about, career fairs or career programming, any workshops that Hazleton is holding, I definitely recommend that you reach out to her. So again, make sure to utilize the career services office that you have at your campus and, reach out to Katie if you have any questions. All right, so in addition to the career services office at the Hazleton campus, you also have some career resources that will be available to you at University Park. So I typically recommend two main offices that students access. First and foremost, the Business Career Center. This is the office that I alluded to before, the office that I work in. And the BCC, as we refer to, is specifically for business students. So first and foremost, it's for Smeal undergraduates. But again, my position works with students at the Commonwealth campuses. So while, Smeal undergrads are the main focus of this office, please know that we are also here to serve you as well. So the Business Career Center is the office for you if you have questions about anything related to the career search process within the umbrella of business careers, business fields, business jobs, etc. And then we also have the Penn State Career Services Office. This is located in the Bank of America building, and we commonly refer to it as Penn State BOA. So BOA is for all University Park students, and it's an office that you can access as well, being a Commonwealth campus student. So what's nice about the Penn State Career Services Office is that because they service all University Park students, they have information on all University Park majors and all of the different colleges that Penn State has. So BOA is a great office for you to get in touch with and talk to if maybe you are looking to double major and your second major is outside the College of Business. Maybe you're looking for a minor that's outside the College of Business. Or maybe you're planning on majoring in a business field, but you're looking towards a career or towards internships that are outside of the typical business industries. So again, the BCC and the BOA offices are here for you for whatever you need, and just keep in mind the specificity of each to make sure you're getting the most relevant information that you need. All right, so I want to talk more specifically in the next few slides about the Business Career Center, just because for most students on the typical career path, this is the office that you'll be utilizing most often. So the BCC has three big umbrellas that we function under. So first and foremost, career coaching. So we meet with students in one-on-one appointments and discuss, like I said, anything and everything related to the career search process. So if you ever have questions for us or need to talk through anything, need professional advice, feel free to schedule a one-on-one career coaching appointment with us. Second, we have employer connections, and I like to think of us as kind of the middleman between the employers and the big companies and our students, because we are connecting companies to Penn State, drawing them in, helping them to connect with our students who are in turn looking for jobs and internships in order to, get involved and start their career. So we like to facilitate those relationships and facilitate those interactions. And then lastly, we also hold a lot of professional development events. That's a big responsibility of our office. So this can be anything related to a workshop on how to improve your resume, a workshop on how to create a cover letter. We also have information sessions that companies hold to network with students and get them more information on internships and jobs coming up. And then our big career fairs are also under our professional development event umbrella as well. We have about 5 big Smeal career fairs in the fall, and then we also help with our fall career days at University Park as well. Okay, so talking more specifically about, career coaching topics, I know that I've alluded to some of these: resumes, cover letters, mock interviews, etc. But I wanted to give you some more information on what you can discuss in a one-on-one appointment with a career coach, whether that be someone in the BCC, Penn State BOA, or Katie at the Hazleton campus. So career coaching topics, you can talk to us, like I said, basically anything and everything related to the career search process. Maybe you need help creating and strengthening some of your materials. Maybe you need some guidance on how to start a job or an internship search, how to research companies and figure out what you want to apply to. Maybe you need help with something as simple as writing a thank you note or sending an email to an employer accepting an offer. Maybe you need help navigating offers because you have two offers, you're excited about both, you're not sure which one to pick. Maybe you need some advice on how to strengthen your resume by getting involved in student orgs and jobs on campus. So again, anything and everything related to the career search process, please know that you can discuss it with us in one-on-one appointments. All right, so giving you some specific information about our BCC website is definitely one of my priorities, because as a student at the Hazleton campus, the website is one of the best resources to kind of get you in the know with what's going on in Smeal and make sure that you have, all of the information that you need for your transition. So there's a few things in particular that I would like to point out to you. The first is the events page on our website. So if you go onto our website, go into the events page, you can see all of the events in the near or far future that have been scheduled that are available for students to attend. So like I alluded to before, this could be career topic presentations and workshops. It could be employer programs or even career fairs. And I will say that, the weird silver lining of this pandemic and virtual world is that I believe all of our events that Smeal and our BCC office is holding for the remainder of the academic year will all be virtual. So in a typical year, students at the Hazleton campus wouldn't be able to access these without driving to University Park. But because these are all virtual for the rest of the year, they're all available for you to attend. So I definitely recommend making a habit out of checking our website and checking the events page, because let's say you know that you are an accounting student and you want to end up interning for Deloitte. You check our events page, you see that Deloitte is having an information session, you attend, you're able to do some great networking, build those relationships that are going to help you in the future. So definitely stay in the know on our events. We also have a lot of great career topic resources on our website. We have tips, handouts, videos, again, related to anything and everything that could be creating a resume, downloading resume samples, creating a cover letter, tips for interviewing platforms you can practice on, etc. So please check that out. We also have great hiring statistics. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the website. It's very useful. I guess there's two parts to it. We have hiring statistics per major, so you can see what the typical starting salary of an accounting student, for example, is, the rate at which students are employed after graduation. So definitely check that stuff out if maybe you are interested. And then we also have a great internship search database. So again, I keep using accounting and Deloitte as our examples, but let's say you're an accounting student, you're looking towards interning with Deloitte, you can go onto our internship database and see really great information about students who have interned with Deloitte in the past, what locations they were typically at, what their summer salaries were, who their supervisors were, the projects they worked on, if they enjoyed the experience or not, etc. So definitely check that out as you are doing research on companies you might want to apply to. And then lastly, in terms of our resources, we have great career option information for your major. So again, let's say you're an accounting student, but you're not sure what type of accounting you want to do in the future and therefore don't know what type of internships to apply for. You can find some great information on career options for your major. And finally, we also have great information on our Smeal student organizations that you can join. We're going to talk more about that later, and we have a link to Nittany Line Careers. So talking about that in our next slide, Nittany Line Careers is one of the most important resources that I recommend that you utilize as a Penn State business student who's looking towards getting employed. Nittany Lion Careers is, I wouldn't say a one-stop shop, but it's a wonderful resource that you can use to apply for internships and jobs. So you can search for them and apply directly through this website. So I want to clarify, every single job and internship that's available in the world is not included on Nittany Lion Careers. It would have to have a pretty big bandwidth for that. But the jobs and internships that are available to you on Nittany Lion Careers are from companies who specifically want to hire Penn State business students. So for example, our events person and employer connections people in our office will get emails from a company like Deloitte who says, we're looking towards hiring students for this internship program for next summer. Could you please upload this job posting to NLC? We do so, and then students who are looking for an accounting internship for the next summer will go on, search for it, and then you can apply directly through the website. So for that reason, it's a great resource that I recommend that you use when it's time for you to start searching and applying for positions. In addition to that, we also use Nittany Lion Careers to sign up for on-campus interviews. You will be doing that when you transition to Smeal. If you're invited for an on-campus interview, you can sign up for that and attend that as a result. And then Nittany Lion Careers is also great for RSVPing and finding information on events. So most of our events on our website, you'll RSVP through Nittany Lion Careers. If you RSVP for this presentation, you've already utilized that function of NLC, which is great. And then lastly, Nittany Lion Careers is also used to schedule appointments. So for example, if you would like to schedule an appointment with me in the future, you would use Nittany Lion Careers, go in, look at the schedules of the career coaches that are available for you, and request an appointment. So again, because of its many, many functions and because it's a great resource for jobs, I would definitely recommend utilizing Nittany Lion Careers. And if you've never gone into it before, I would definitely recommend logging in, updating your profile, and just looking around a little bit and familiarizing yourself with the website. All right, so those are, all of the key career resources that are available to you at Penn State, whether that's at the Hazleton campus, the University Park campus, online. Definitely check out all of those resources, utilize them as much as you would like. And like I said, can't emphasize enough, I would definitely recommend meeting with Katie at the Hazleton campus before you transition to University Park. All right, so the next part of our presentation is all about how to maximize your first and second years. At the end of the day, it's important for you to be getting involved. It's important for you to be taking all of the necessary steps during your first and second year at Hazleton to make sure that if and when you do transition to Smeal, that you are in as good a shape as possible to start applying for jobs. So we're going to talk about 5 specific steps that I recommend. So first one is get involved at your campus and in your local community. So at the end of the day, the goal of the job search process is obviously to get a job. And in order to get that job offer, you need to ace an interview. You need to do really well in an interview. And in order for you to get an interview, you need to have a strong resume that makes somebody say to themselves, wow, I want to learn more about this person. And in order to have a strong resume, you need to have great skills and experiences that demonstrate that you are somebody who likes to get involved, is well-rounded, and is someone who can bring a lot to the table to the position you're applying for. So to create that strong resume, you got to get involved. Taking a sip of water here. All right, so as you decide to get involved and figure out what you want to get involved in, it's important to choose meaningful experiences. So on the screen here, you can see some examples of different things that you can use and get involved in to strengthen your resume. So this is by no means an exhaustive list. There are certainly things that students do that are not on this page, but these are just some examples that we typically see students get involved in the most. So that being said, do not feel pressured to get involved in every single type of activity and experience. I know when I was a student, I was all about the student organizations. I almost always had a part-time job. I was able to do study abroad and volunteer work, but athletics, not for me, not very coordinated. Wasn't able to do any case competitions or leadership programs, and that's totally fine. It's great to have a diverse resume in terms of experiences, as many things as you're able to get involved in, that's awesome. But even if you're able to just pick, a solid few things that you can get involved in, it's definitely to your benefit. So think about these different activities and figure out what you would like to get onto your resume. And in addition to thinking about meaningful experiences, it's also important to think about the skills that you want to strengthen, because at the end of the day, let's say you have 6 different experiences. If the only skill that you're developing in each of them is communication, for example, then your resume isn't necessarily marketable and diverse. So we also want to be thinking about diversity of skills and have strengthened skills. So again, on this page is by no means an exhaustive list of skills that are desired by employers. There's so many skills out there that are important to have these days, but these are just some examples that you typically see or hear about. And, as you are getting involved in things, like I said, it's important to think about what skills you would like to develop, what you would like to be marketable for in terms of jobs, how you would like to market yourself, and what might be most applicable to the field that you're applying for. So for example, let's say you're a finance student, then the skills of leadership, teamwork, communication, and problem-solving skills might be some of the biggest that you want to have on your resume. Let's say you're a management information systems student, maybe analytical skills, computer skills, organizational skills are the most important things you want to demonstrate on your resume. So in addition to trying to figure out how you want to market yourself, make sure that you are also marketing yourself towards the field that you are applying for. So get involved in different experiences, strengthen your experiences, and strengthen your skill sets, so that you can have the greatest and strongest resume possible. So in addition to, getting involved at Hazleton and strengthen your resume now, it's important to make a plan to get involved at University Park. So this is a step that I'd recommend doing probably your semester before you transition to UP. Just to make sure that all of the information that you're finding is most applicable. This is oftentimes the window to start applying for some jobs if you're looking towards gaining employment in the University Park community or the State College community. So again, making a plan to get involved is important because you want to have that strong resume, and you might be involved in some great experiences while you're at the Hazleton campus, but all of that is going to stop when you transition to University Park. So you want to be able to, have some updated experiences and replace some experiences to make sure that your resume is as strong as it can possibly be. So I suppose there's 2 different avenues that students typically take when they plan their involvement at University Park. Some students like to look for opportunities and organizations that are most similar to their involvement at Hazleton. Let's say you loved working on campus in the dining hall and you were involved in the finance organization, and you're saying to yourself, I definitely want to do both of those things at University Park. By all means, go for it. I think that's a great plan. But if you, had a great experience at Hazleton, you loved everything that you were involved in, but you're thinking to yourself, I think when I go to University Park, I want a fresh start. I want to get involved in some new things. I think that's a great plan also. So whatever works for you, by all means, go for it. As long as you are getting involved in one way or another, you should be in good shape. So these next 2 slides, I guess, are more about information for you as opposed to advice. I just wanted to give you some different links and resources that I think can benefit you while you are making plans to get involved. That being said, obviously you can't access these links here on the screen. So if you would like for me to email this presentation to you afterwards so that you have access to the links, I'm happy to do so. Otherwise, you can take a screenshot or a photo of the screen and type these in manually yourself. But so starting out with student organizations at University Park, I wanted to give this information because a lot of a student's involvement stems from the student organization umbrella. So as you were planning your involvement at UP, you could get involved in general student organizations. So we have over 1,000 general student orgs at University Park. That is unbelievable to me. It's so many, hard to conceive, but that really means that there's something for everybody. So I guarantee that you'll be able to find something that interests you. And if not, you can create your own student organization. So I definitely recommend checking those out. In addition, we also have around 40 Smeal specific student organizations. Those could be service-oriented, business fraternities, major related, or general interest, but those are also definitely worth taking a look at. You know, students will typically ask me, how many student orgs do you think I should get involved in? Should I just get involved in Smeal or general? A good rule of thumb would be one general student organization and one Smeal student organization, just to have yourself be well-rounded with your academic and professional career, as well as passions and interests. But that being said, every single student has different time restraints, health restraints, financial restraints. So do what you can, do whatever's best for you. In addition, I wanted to point out some resources for student jobs on campus. Like I said before, I was a student who, had to have a part-time job to put myself through school. So this was something that was always on my radar. And if you are a student that's looking towards employment, I definitely recommend you think about this sooner rather than later in your transition, just to make sure you're able to find something. So there's a lot of different types of positions and experiences you can look towards. You could get a job on the University Park campus or outside of campus in the State College community. Maybe you're looking for a part-time job, maybe work study is what's for you, or an internship. Whatever the case may be, definitely utilize your resources. So I didn't include any of the State College resources just because, there's so many businesses and opportunities that are available in the State College community. But I did add some University Park campus specific resources down at the bottom. We have our Human Resources job website, our Student Affairs job website, food services, campus recreation, residence life. When I was a student, these are some examples of websites and job search platforms that were most helpful for me. So again, just wanted to give you these so you had them when it's time for you to start looking for jobs, if that applies to you. All right, step 3 is create a Smeal resume. Take another sip of water here. All right, so here in the College of Business at Smeal, we have what we call a Smeal resume format. You can see it on the left side of the screen in the green box. A Smeal resume format basically just describes what this resume looks like structurally. So our Smeal format, has all of the dates and locations on the right-hand side of the page, for example. We have our heading set up a certain way. We have our bullet points set up a certain way. So the Smeal resume format is what it is pretty much because after years and years of getting feedback from employers, from recruiters that hire Smeal students, we've learned a lot about what recruiters are looking for in a resume, what they don't want to see in a resume, what makes them more likely to put it in the yes pile versus the no pile. And we've taken all of that feedback and created this resume, and so far our students seem to have a lot of success with it. It's a resume that our employers and recruiters really love to see. And the reason for that is because, as you can tell by looking at it on the screen, similar information is all in the same parts of the resume. Everything is very easy to find. It's very legible. There's a lot of information on the page, but it doesn't look overwhelming or smushed at all. So, the Smeal resume format, like I said, is something that we encourage our students to have. It's not mandatory by any means. You don't have to have your resume in this format, but if it's something easy that you can do because it's successful in the eyes of applications and recruiters, job search processes, etc., then why not do it? But if you have your resume in a format that you're really excited about, really proud of, you feel good about it, then by all means feel free to keep it that way. This is just some advice, if you're looking towards adapting your resume or changing up the format, we recommend the Smeal format. So if you would like to adapt your resume or create a resume in the Smeal format, we have some different resources for you. So there's a lot of information on our website that you can find. We have resume packets with some samples that you can utilize when creating your bullet points and just making sure that everything looks strong. We also have the downloadable format, so you can just download the file and plug all of your information in and you'll be good to go. And then we have some great tips through videos and handouts that you can utilize in order to make sure that, everything is as strong as it can possibly be. In addition, we definitely recommend having your resume reviewed. This is important just to make sure that everything is consistent throughout the page. You don't have any spelling or grammar errors. That's very, very important. So if you would like a resume review, there's a lot of different resources you can utilize. Obviously, if you would like to have your resume reviewed by the BCC, by myself, feel free to do that. In the BCC, we also have drop-in appointments with our student workers. You can have a quick resume review from them. You can also meet with the Bank of America Career Services Office at UP for a resume review. And then lastly, you could also have Katie in the Hazleton office review your resume as well. So regardless of the format, as long as your resume is strong and it's reviewed, you're in good shape. All right, step number 4, sign up for BA 297, a 1-credit course. So BA 297 is a 1-credit class that we offer through the Smeal College of Business, and it's called Career Planning and Strategies. So essentially this class is, a quick 1-credit class that helps teach you about all of the career search topics and processes from a foundational level. So some examples of lectures and topics that we go through in this class are here in the blue box on the left. So for example, researching companies, how to prepare for a career fair, how to create a resume and a cover letter, LinkedIn, interviewing. You can check out the rest. Again, this class is basically just here to give you all of this information, foundationally, and also some of the information is more in depth than you can find on a website or in a career coaching appointment, for example. And we really recommend this class because, at the end of the day, ideally, these are topics and documents that you are preparing anyway. So why not take a 1-credit class, make sure you are getting all of this great comprehensive information, and hopefully get that A that can bolster your GPA as well. So this is an elective. It's offered in the fall and the spring, and we do have some different opportunities in which you can take this class. We have an online section for first and year Commonwealth campus students that you can take while you are at the Hazleton campus. So again, it's offered in the fall and the spring. Enrollment for the spring section is currently open, so if you are interested, please let me know. And then let's say you're interested in this class, but you would like to take it in person. You can also wait until you are a University Park student to take this class in person at UP as well. If you do decide to take the online section for Commonwealth campus students, it is asynchronous, meaning that there are no live meeting times. So there are obviously deadlines that you have to adhere to, but there isn't a live class time once a week. So you're able to do everything, go through the lectures on your own time. The weekly lectures are taught by course instructors in the Business Career Center, and they're also taught by corporate partner employers. So that's one of my favorite parts of this class is that you're able to get the perspectives on, the career search process from both career services professionals and also employers and companies who are able to give you kind of the insider tips from their perspective of the process. And then lastly, all of our assignments are hands-on and reflective. Some examples are you do a mock interview with the instructor, you do a virtual practice interview through a practice platform, you create a resume and a cover letter, you practice your elevator pitch, go to a career fair, etc. So we find that students really enjoy this course because, again, it kind of forces you to do some of this stuff and forces you to be proactive about it and develop those skill sets when it's time for you to start applying to jobs and applying to internships, that you are as strong within these skill sets as you can possibly be. So if you are interested in getting enrolled in this course in the spring, please let me know. Please feel free to reach out and I can get you enrolled. All right, so we are nearing the end here. Last but not least, step 5 for maximizing your first and second years is attend a career fair. So there are 4 main reasons to go to career fairs before your junior year. So I'll outline each of those. First is to discover potential opportunities. So career fairs are, great for learning about what's available to you. So, maybe, again, I keep using accounting. Maybe you are an accounting student who's a freshman or a sophomore, and you're kind of starting to think about applying to internships in the future, but you have no idea where to start. You don't know what companies recruit at Penn State. not sure what type of positions are really available for you, I would definitely recommend going to a career fair because, you're able to get some face-to-face time, whether virtually or in person, with some great companies who are looking to hire Penn State business students, and you can learn more about some internships and jobs that might be available to you in the future. So in terms of information gaining, career fairs are awesome for that reason. Career fairs are also really helpful to help you learn how to become a highly qualified candidate. So a lot of times I hear from freshmen and sophomores who are interested in going to the career fairs, but they say to me, I'm not ready to apply for jobs, but I want to go, but what do I talk to the employers about if I'm not really looking for a job at the present time? And, in addition to advising them to discover potential opportunities and learn about them, I also tell students one thing that you should be asking these employers when it's, not time for you to start searching for jobs is, how can I set myself up for success to be a highly qualified candidate? How can I make my application stand out? What should I talk about in my cover letter that, would help me to get on, the next level of the process? Recruiters are always more than happy to talk about their company. They're happy to help you with the application process. So if you go into the career fair with the mindset of gaining information on how to make sure you're putting your best foot forward and being as marketable and employable to them as you can be, definitely to your benefit. Number 3, it's helpful to go to career fairs to build and maintain professional relationships. So something that I've noticed is that a lot of times the recruiters who go to career fairs are Penn State alums. And these alums are coming back to their alma mater. They're excited to talk to students who are just like them and give them advice on how they could potentially gain employment at their company. And another thing that I've noticed is that these recruiters, these Penn State alums, typically come back year after year. Dick's Sporting Goods is a great example of this. I know there's a cohort of students who graduated from Smeal that always come back year after year for the career fairs. And the great thing about going to career fairs is that you're able to build those relationships with them. The same people come year after year. You're able to get that face-to-face time with them. By the second or third year, they remember you. You're able to tell them about yourself. They remember some things so that when it's time for you to submit your application, they can hopefully push you along in the application process, give you certain pieces of advice to help you go far in the application process, answer questions, etc. Career fairs are awesome for networking. I would say as a whole, that's their primary function, is for you to network and gain more information from employers. So definitely build those professional relationships with people who come, because it definitely goes a long way. And then number 4, familiarizing yourself with the environment is key for the career fairs as well, going early. It's no secret that career fairs are a little intimidating. It can be overwhelming to be in a room with a lot of people talking about jobs, wearing suits, and even this past semester when the career fairs have been virtual, it's still intimidating to talk to somebody who has information about some opportunities that you're looking towards. So as comfortable as you can get with the environment, as familiar as you can get with the environment, it definitely helps. Even if you just go to one career fair before it really matters when you need to start applying to jobs, it definitely helps you to, be comfortable, be yourself, be able to talk to employers and not be too thrown off because you're nervous about everything that's going on. So for that reason, I would definitely recommend going as well. All right, so those are all of my tips in terms of how to maximize your first and second years. And at the end of the day, I just wanted to leave you with this piece of advice, which is just to do your best. The career search skills, career search processes, they are not things that you were born with. These are not innate skills or innate knowledge. These are things that you have to learn. There are things that you have to practice and actively put your best foot forward with, try and be better at. So if you are, hoping to have a strong career search, I would say do your best, do as much as you can now to set yourself up for success, and you will be in good shape for a transition to Smeal and ideally a transition to a future career. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. You are also welcome to unmute yourself or come into the drop-in hours to talk about something more specific if you would like to. I thank you for coming. I hope that this information was helpful in one way, shape, or form. I hope that I'm able to meet you virtually or in person one day at University Park, and I wish you the best of luck with this semester and the spring semester. I hope that you are all staying safe and healthy and ideally as happy as possible. These are crazy times, and I really commend you for being students right now, because with all of the instability, you know, it's definitely difficult to be going through school. So I'm proud of you. You're doing great. Let me know if you need anything. So thanks for coming, everybody.